Hello and welcome to our class Systems Administration and Maintenance. We're on first and second week of your preliminaries and we're discussing the introduction of Linux environment. So, if you're interested with these kind of video tutorial, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also click the notification bell so you won't miss out our future videos. An operating system, OS, is the sum of all programs which are required to operate a computer. It is also used to control and monitor application programs. Unix has been originally written in the programming language C, and it is mainly used for scientific technical applications on mainframes and workstations, but has also become perfectly suited for application in networks. Originally, it is command line oriented, but can be used via a graphical user interface. Linux is a family of Unix-like open source operating system developed by Linus Torvalds. As an open-source operating system, there are instances that the source code of the Linux kernel, main component of a Linux OS, is used to form another operating system. A Linux distribution, distro, is a collection of software on top of a Linux kernel. It can bundle server software, system management tools, documentation, and many desktop applications in a central, secure software repository. A distro aims to provide a common look and feel, secure and easy software management, and often a specific operational purpose. Shells are interfaces to the operating system, the kernel of the host. It provides the necessary instruction and operation that an operating system may process. It can be in two forms. A GUI, graphical user interface, is a graphical representation in which the users can interact with software or devices through graphical icons. A CLI, command line interface, is a console or text-based representation in which the user types the commands to operate the software or devices. When it comes to ease of use, the new users will pick up a GUI much faster than a CLI. New users of CLI will have some difficulty operating it because they are not familiar with the commands. When it comes to controlling the system, CLI users will have all the control over the file system and operating system, and the tasks become simple through scripting, while GUI users can do only simple and limited tasks not flexible enough for controlling the system. Linux Desktop Environment, GUI, GNOME was once the most popular Linux desktop environment and was used by default on Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, and most other big Linux distributions. It was a simple, fairly lightweight desktop environment. KDE has always been more complex than GNOME, packing in many more configuration options and features. It's a bit more Windows-like than the other desktop environments here, coming with a single taskbar on the bottom of the screen that includes a menu, quick launch type icons, a taskbar, a notification area, and a clock. The typical layout of a Windows taskbar. XFCE is a more lightweight desktop environment, very similar to GNOME. This option is ideal if you want a more traditional desktop environment without full-screen application launchers, overdone graphical effects, and desktop widgets. It's also more lightweight than the other options, making it ideal for older computers or ones without stable 3D graphics drivers that can't handle the effects in Unity and GNOME. Cinnamon was developed for Linux Mint, in which it is based on GNOME. It uses up-to-date libraries and other software, but it takes that software and tries to create a more traditional-looking desktop with it. This modern desktop environment offers nice graphical effects and a rethought application menu. Basic Linux commands with syntaxes. Manual displays user manual of any command on the terminal. File type determines the type of a file. Whatis displays short descriptions of program. Whereas locates files and pages of a command. Whoami displays the current user. Ls list displays the list of fuels and directory. First kernel permissions, second kernel node of links, third kernel file, dir owner, fourth kernel file, dir group, fifth kernel size, sixth kernel date stamp, seventh kernel timestamp, eighth kernel name. Tree displays the contents of the working directory recursively showing subdirectories and files and a summary of the total number of subdirectories and files. PWD displays parent working directory. CD change directory changes the current directory. CD ... previous folder. CD / root folder. CD / shortcut. MDIR make directory creates directory. MDIR remove directory removes directory. CP copy file copies a file to a specified location. MV move file moves a file to a specified location. RM remove file removes a file. All files are organized into directories. These directories are organized into a tree-like structure called the file system. In Linux, there are three basic types of files. Ordinary files. An ordinary file is a file on the system that contains data, text, or program instructions. Directories store both special and ordinary files. For users familiar with Windows or Mac OS, Unix directories are equivalent to folders. Special files. Some special files provide access to hardware such as hard drives, CD-ROM drives, modems, and Ethernet adapters. Other special files are similar to aliases or shortcuts and enable you to access a single file using different names. Linux directories / root directory refers to the root directory. The root directory is the one from which all other directories branch off from. /bin is the directory that contains binaries, that is, some of the applications and programs you can run. /boot directory contains files required for starting your system. /dev contains device files. Many of these are generated at boot time or even on the fly. /etc is the dumping ground for system files administration when not sure where else to put. /home is where you will find your users' personal directories. /lib is where libraries live. Libraries are files containing code that your application can use. They contain snippets of code that applications use to draw windows on your desktop, control peripherals, or send files to your hard disk. /opt directory is often where the software you compile. Applications will end up in the opt-bin directory and libraries in the opt-lib directory. /proc and /dev are virtual directory in which it contains information about your computers, such as information about your CPU and the kernel your Linux system is running. It is a directory in which it contains the files and directories are generated when your computer starts, or on the fly, as the system is running and things change. /bin is similar to /bin, but it contains applications that only the superuser will need. You can use these applications with the sudo command.